Yo, thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It means so much. Similar to last video's birdhouse runs, today we will be focusing on farm runs. How exciting. With farm runs comes thousands of experience, thousands of GP, and a lot of good times. We will be visiting the following cities you see listed on the screen. However you choose to get there, it's kind of up to you. My favorite ways are as shown. Stamina pots being my favorite, obviously. Just kidding. I just like stamina pots. They're great. Anyway, take your time, find your favorite route, and learn from your past mistakes. In this video, you will see me bounce around. You'll see me do my route. You'll see me do my route alternately. So stick around, have a good time. We'll figure this out. With that, we are going to need 5 regular trees, 4 fruit trees, and 3 hardwood trees. That is total. I don't carry all that at once. That just takes way too much time. Typically, I'll do a spade, a rake, an axe, a compost bucket. The bottomless one being totally worth it. It doubles it. I use a knife so that I can cut up all my logs. It adds extra fletching. Hey, I'm all about skilling. I get all the experience I can possibly take. That's fine with me. Might take a little bit longer, but whatever. I prefer it. I prefer the XP. It helps in the route to 99. 99 takes a lot. 13 million is a ton of experience. So take all the experience you can possibly get. With that said, run over to that guy, and we have our first dead tree. Awesome. This is why you pay the people next to you. That is exactly right. Literally, every single one of them will have a different farmer located right next to the patch. You can pay them. Each tree takes a different payment. Some's like strawberries, some's oranges, some's roots. It all depends. Basically, you just clear your tree out of there. Then you give it the old compost dumping. Plant your tree, run on to the next one. That's all you got to do. If you're paying the guy, you can right click them, click straight on pay. If not, you can talk to him. You can look at your tree. You can figure out what all you need to pay him. And then it's on to the next. Next over here, we have a regular tree. This being a willow, and it did grow. As you've seen, that granted 1,600 just for checking it. So that's 1,600 farming experience I got simply for checking on a tree that I planted. There's wood cutting experience. I'm going to get some fletching once I cut all these logs up. You could even burn them if you wanted to. However you wanted to do, totally up to you. That's why I like this guide. It's kind of an optional. It's kind of just a follow by, showing you where all the farm plots are at. One of the easier ways to get to them all, and then how to get back. The only requirements to do this route that I particularly do is unlocking Fossil Island, and that's just for the 3 hardwood trees. Other than that, the gnome village, that'll help you so that you can travel by the spirit tree. But even that has ways around it. If you want to use the skills cape, or if you have a skills necklace, you can teleport over to the fishing guild. You can run over here. It takes a little bit longer, but there's options. I mean, you can get away from all of it. You can run over across the White Wolf Mountain and run all the way over here from the Grand Exchange if you really feel like it. I mean, it's not that hard. Basically, it's just all about getting to the spots you've seen on my screen, planting the trees, coming back, checking on them, and harvesting them. That's really it. With that said, you pick your favorite routes, your favorite ways to get there, and on screen you'll see mine. It's basically the way this guide is. It doesn't take too many requirements, doesn't take too many quests, doesn't really take anything. Basically what I did was watched a few other videos, jumped at the Grand Exchange, bought everything I needed, which is relatively cheap, especially in lower levels, and then I just got to it. From there, you just basically pick the tree you can plant. After you raise your levels up high enough to plant the next tier, you pick that one, you plant that one. Really, the only thing that changes is they might get a little bit more pricey. The experience it yields for each harvest will go up. And then other than that, it just takes longer to do it. The tree takes a little bit more time to grow. Instead of like 50 minutes, it ends up taking a couple days. Like hardwood teak trees, they take like 3 days. I know some of the lower level regular trees only take like 50 minutes. So that's about all that changes. With that said, I am going to run up back here to the spirit tree. We will teleport over to the village, and I'll show you how to do that one. So once you get here, all you do, run over to this corner here, very opposite corner in which you spawn in. There is a loose railing. You will simply squeeze through that there loose railing. You will right click on this little guy right here, click on the follow option. He will take you straight out of this maze. All you do from there is basically click in the same direction. You'll see a little farm plot, and this is your second fruit tree. And basically, just like the last couple trees you see me do, you will repeat the same exact process. You will click on it. That will check on your tree. That will grant you the points if it has not died. And from there, you will clear it out. Sometimes, if it's grown and it's a regular tree, I mean, you get a whole entire inventory full of logs. That is the reason why I do chop them. You can right-click and pay on the gardener near there, like actual GP, and they will remove the tree instantly so that you don't have to stand there and waste more time. Some people do that. Like I said before, I'm all about the XP, so I try to get as much as I can. I sit there and chop it all down. I fletch it up. Good to go. With that said, we're finishing up here. So you have a few options after you plant your tree. Really, you can go to any of the following teleports you want. If you want to finish up your fruit trees, I would suggest going to Catherby. If you want to finish up your regular trees, then go to any of the other ones. For the sake of this video though, I believe we will be traveling to Catherby, so we can get rid of the rest of these fruit trees. I can show you how to do all that good stuff. So here we are. This is where the teleport takes you. From the teleport location, you will run all the way east, basically to the foot of White Wolf Mountain. There is another fruit tree farm plot there for you with a woman standing next to it that is ready to watch it if you are willing to pay. And thank goodness for edits and voiceovers, because I messed up a couple times here and I was ready to show you guys my mistakes. With that said, I had to travel back to the bank because I put up some of my stuff at the last location that I still needed for this one. I don't know why I did, but I did. I did that back all the way at the Gnome Stronghold for some reason. So we're good to go now. I'm gonna slap on a little fast forward here and I will be right back. And with the completion of that tree is the completion of our third out of our 4th fruit trees. So we will make our way back to this bank. We will deposit all the unnecessary things such as the empty pot, the fruit, and we will grab about 500 coins. These coins right here are paying for that charter ship that I was referring to in the beginning of the video. And to get to that charter, all you simply do is run up this here dock. You click on charter with the trades members, and then they give you a couple different options, and all you simply have to do is click on Brimhaven. After you click on Brimhaven, pay them the coins, they will take you there. There we go. We have completed all of the fruit tree patches. So I did go back, I grabbed my strawberries, and I will be paying these guys to check and keep an eye up on my trees. Like I said, that is a little over 2,000 XP for every fruit tree right now on my level anyway. So why not keep it protected? Some of the payments, they might not be worth it. Once you get higher, and your experience gets a little bit up there, you might want to consider paying for it. A little extra GP goes a long way when you're trying to reach a 99. So we are back on the routes of the regular trees. As you guys can see, that is kind of why I stick to just kind of doing them all at their own pace. I like to do the fruits, the hards, and the regulars on their own. The only reason why I will sometimes hit that first regular one you see at the stronghold is because it's right there. So go ahead and bang that one out along with the fruit trees. Then once you do all the fruit trees, you can start the real race around just hitting all the regular trees. It's pretty simple. After you do that, you complete the same exact steps over and over. We will be doing the hardwood trees, which is even easier than the magic and the regular. For the regular trees, really you only have 2 issues. One would be if you can't use the spirit tree, having to walk over there from the fishing guild. Other than that is moving your house. I moved my house to Taverley. I did that simply because it makes this next one like really easy. Other than that, you could still get around it. If you wanted to, you could teleport to Falador. You could run straight up, or you could even, if you wanted to, go from Catherby and cross White Wolf Mountain. But I typically just think it's way easier to just move your house to Taverley, teleport to your house using one of the teleports, and run straight over. It's literally right here. I know, like I said before, it's kind of right next to Falador, but still saves time. If you teleport to Falador, you're right there in that little town square, which you just now seen. You would just run straight north, and you would be here. You'd run right through them gates right there. So either way, I mean, it's pretty simple. I just do this just to be a little bit more lazy. I don't know. Simply move my house up to Taverley. I don't need it to be anywhere else anyway. Other than that, we're back on the regular process. So it's pretty straightforward from there. If your house is in Taverley and you can get to the Gnome Stronghold, you're pretty much smooth sailing. You can teleport to Lumbridge a couple different ways, as you obviously know, using the most OG teleport method possible, and that is using the level 1 teleport to Lumbee spell. If you don't have that, you can buy the tablet, which everybody has that, so you don't have an excuse, but I'm just giving you options. So from here, you will literally repeat the same exact process. I do save Varrock last. I know that's kind of goofy because you start off in Varrock. You don't have to do that. I just, for some reason, find like a home base at Grand Exchange. Like, that's just, if I need anything, that's obviously where I go. You can probably buy anything that's tradable there. So typically what I'll do is I'll start at the Grand Exchange. I will go to the Gnome Stronghold, and I'll bounce all around, get it all done, and then I'll end back up in Varrock. The Varrock teleport is a little bit different. It's not exactly in the Grand Exchange. It takes you right in the town center like most of the teleports do. You will be there right next to the trading shop and right next to the kingdom. All you do is run a little bit north and you're there. So that's kind of another reason why. I mean, you would have to run away from the Grand Exchange. So this is just kind of like keeps it at one big circle. You just go across the map, and here we are. So with that said, run over here, run a little bit east, and there's the plot. This is the last regular tree. After we get this bad boy cut down, which I'm going to fast forward through it, I will show you how to do the hardwood trees. So stay tuned. If at any point in this video you feel like you're kind of lost, feel free to rewind it. It's pretty simple. Start off at the Grand Exchange, use that old spirit tree, travel over to the stronghold. You got 2 plots there. After you hit them 2 plots, one's regular, one's fruit, run up to the bank all your unnecessary stuff, run back up to that spirit tree, go over to the gnome village, go over, hit that last fruit tree at the gnome village. After that, use your Catherby teleport. That will take you to the final fruit trees. Run over, hit the fruit tree right there in Catherby, take the charter to Brimhaven. You're done with fruit trees. And then assuming that you took that order, you're on the regular trees. You've already done 1, that means you got 4 more. Your possibilities are Lumbridge, Varrock, Falador, and Taverley. So go smash them out in whichever order you like. Use whatever teleports, or simply run around if you want to. It's literally up to you. That's what's so great. And with that said, we're going to head to Fossil Island so that I can now show you the 3 hardwood trees. These 3 hardwood trees, I absolutely recommend paying to be protected. That is without a doubt, because they take a long time to grow and they yield a ton of experience. So as you can see on the map just now, we will be heading to that direction where you've seen the plots that you are able to farm in. Here we go, making our way. This is one option. You can run from that teleport, or if you're coming from the dig site option, this is the base camp's way. Simply run right up this little passage right here, take a right. Yep, don't go straight, take a right, and there we go. And wrap right back around. So, with that said, once you're here, you see my plots, they are grown. We will check the health. As you can see, just like every other tree, you repeat the same exact steps as before. Chop it down, you remove the stump, and then you plant the new one after putting the compost on it. Like I was saying before, that bottomless compost bucket is great. It holds a lot more than the regular compost bucket, and it will double any that you put in. I think it holds like 10,000, so if you put 5,000 in it, it'll straight up double it, and it'll be maxed out. That's 10,000 times you can use it. It's pretty great. As you just seen there, every time you check one of these fully grown trees, you get a ton of experience points. I mean, it's insanity. You get over 10k XP just for checking these 3 trees, let alone your other runs. That's your hardwood and your fruit. It's pretty mind-blowing. Like when you get you can only do this like every 2 or 3 days for the hardwoods, but I mean when you get that run in where it was like every single one from hardwoods, you do that loop, fruits, you do that loop, and then you run over to Fossil Island and you hit these. I mean, that's over like 20k almost. And then as you get up in levels, it's literally like freaking crazy. It's like above 30k, 40k, not even counting getting like Hespori seeds and all that stuff. If you get any of them and plant them, that's 12k. I mean, farming flies through the roof. As you just seen through this guide, it is very, very easy to get farming experience. It's super passive. I mean, it's almost AFK. The only difference is you're clicking on the stuff, but it's like every couple days. You don't have to constantly do it. It's not like thieving. You're not like clicking. It's not click intensive at all. You simply just go through these runs every couple days whenever you feel fit. I mean, you can find trees that grow faster if you want to do it sooner. You can find trees that take longer. And with that said, I mean, there is other plots too. These are just the most simple ones to get to. Like if you want to do some extra quests and unlock some extra stuff, I mean, there's more plots you can get to. This is just your typical easiest farm runs for your regular trees, your fruit trees, and your hardwood trees. So however far you want to dive into this rabbit hole is totally up to you. You can dive all the way head first to the bottom and you can find every single plot possible. You can plant herbs, you can plant bushes, and all sorts of things. You can grow your own seeds for your trees. You can make your own saplings. It's pretty much up to you how far you want to go. If you're an Iron Man, I assume that's the route you're going to have to take because you can't really just buy the saplings. So if that's the route you're taking, you pretty much have no choice but to invest a lot more time in farming. Thankfully, this guy's not an Iron Man, and he is the guy that I learned how to do farming on, so I didn't have to dive that deep. What I am going to do now, though, is pretty much just run back over. I'm going to do another farm run. It's just kind of a whole different style. It's just showing you guys that you don't have to do it any particular way. I mean, you just do it. You run through it. You click the same thing. You carry the same products. Whatever tree you want, you carry that one with you. If you're paying to have somebody watch it, you can even carry that stuff noted. So like if it's a basket of strawberries or something, carry it noted. Carry 1,000 of them with you. It does not matter. Just do it. And close to pretty much all the plots, there's a couple exceptions, but most of your plots that are in major cities are really, really, really close to like the kingdoms and things like that, like where banks are. So usually you'll either be able, like at Lumbee, you can go upstairs in the castle. At Falador, right below us. Taverley, I think you might be stuck at Taverley. You might have to run to Falador. But that's kind of why I say to like organize it. Do like one that's right next to a bank, and then jump to Taverley where you know you don't have a bank, and then jump to one that's got a bank. Kind of evens things out. That way you don't have to run around. You don't have to keep teleporting. You don't have to drop things. My biggest thing is I like to keep everything with me. Even my empty pots, even my roots. I like to keep it all with me. I don't know. I'm all into skilling. I'm a lot into collecting. And at the end of the day, it's all GP and XP. So, I mean, the more GP, the more XP, the more collectibles, I'm happy. That's the way I look at it. With that said, whatever makes you guys happy. If you guys want to drop the stuff, drop it. If you guys want to take the fastest route and pay the most money, get the least XP or get the most XP, however you want to do it. If you want to do farm runs every 60 minutes, do one. That's the beautiful part about RuneScape. I think you should play the way that makes you happy. This is simply just a follow along to get your foot in the door with farming, help you guys get started, show you guys what will be successful, what will help out, and just go from there. That's the easiest way I found to do it anyway. When people ask me how I got my 99s, it's kind of like I did what made me happy. I bounced around a couple things that were like pulled a whole bunch of XP in, but if I didn't like that, I didn't do it. I did the route that I enjoyed the most, That does make it the most enjoyable, and that does make it the easiest 99, in my opinion. That's kind of one of my favorite parts about farming. It gives you a chance to kind of detach away from RuneScape a little bit, but stay involved still, because like I was saying before, it's not one of these skills where it's like, if I'm not clicking this button, I'm not advancing. This is more like, hey, plant this, go do stuff in real life, and then come back, and you're still getting so much experience and so much money that it's worth it. It's like, it's not one of the things you have to dedicate a whole entire day to playing RuneScape to achieve. You can just set it there, go do your own thing, and come back to it. And with that said, if you want to dive in deeper, you can pick those faster trees, you can pick more routes, you can go do the mini game, you can do the tith farming thing. I mean, there's so many options. There's really endless options with farming, whether you want to do it fast, passively, aggressively. I mean, you can train it however you see fit. That's kind of what got me into it. I had nothing. Literally, last month I had a 1 in farming. And I started watching videos. I was like, hey, I could do this. It don't take up too much time. I could do it on the side of training things. So, for instance, if I'm training hunter, if I'm training combat, if I'm training anything else, I can just go plant my stuff. I can go back to doing what I was doing. And then say it took 50 minutes to grow, 4 hours to grow, 3 days to grow. Every 50 minutes, 4 hours, and 3 days, I'll do them runs. That's just extra XP in farming while I'm training whatever I enjoy training more. If you enjoy training farming, focus more on just farming, and then just hit your runs whenever your time's up, whenever your trees are done growing. It's pretty simple. That's why I like it. Maybe not the most, but it's definitely up there, one of my favorite skills, just because your options to train are just endless. And then I'll probably know that I'm going to hear some people tell me like, hey, you can't keep training. It's not endless. You got to wait for your runs to end. That's not true, because if you teleport to your house and you have a sapling, you can literally remove your tree and plant your tree as fast as you can click. So if you have enough money, you can sit at your house, remove a tree, plant a tree, remove a tree, plant a tree, and it is just going to keep giving you experience. I mean, it might not be the most ideal thing to do in the world, but that is straightforward, continuous experience in farming while you're still doing your farming runs. So, I mean, there's a way to argue both sides to it. You can either do it passively, or you can do it as intense as anything else in the game. That's what's crazy about it. You want to wait and get 10K every couple days? Go ahead. You want to do it straightforward all the way until 99 if you have that much money? Go for it. Pretty much just like any other skill, you have the freedom to train it to the best way you see fit. I know sometimes you're a little limited, sometimes you have to wait. That's not always the case with farming. So, if you've enjoyed this so far, please stick around. We are almost done. Next, we will be heading over to the village again, just so that I can round up all the fruit trees. Pretty much this time, instead of doing the fruit trees first, aside from the very first regular tree we did, I went ahead, I knocked out all the regular trees, and now I'm going to go to the Gnome Stronghold, then I'm going to go to the village, then I'm going to go to Catherby. I'm going to knock out the fruit trees. After the fruit trees, you run on over to Fossil Island. If you have your trees ready, you knock out the hardwood trees. Basically, all I'm doing right now is just showing you that you don't have to do it one specific way. First time you see me do the fruit trees, the regular trees, and then the hardwood, you just now see me do the regular trees. I'm getting ready to do the fruit trees, and I don't think I have the hardwoods ready to harvest yet. But either way, I'm doing it the opposite as I did it the first time, so that you can see neither one's really harder. Neither one costs more, neither one's more confusing. It all sounds confusing at first. You just got to break it down. I'm telling you guys, if you want to break it down literally individual tree by tree first, do that. Take what you need to one spot, go to one spot, figure it out, then go get the next teleport and go to the next spot. When I first learned how to do this, I paused the video I was watching 30 times probably. Every single time I would pick out the things that he said I needed. I would go to the spot that he went to. I would pause it. I would do everything that he just did, and I would unpause it. I'd wait for him to go to the next spot. I would pause it, and that's kind of how I learned how to do it. I know there's a lot more easier ways to do it, but that's the way I did it. Pretty much was just a whole lot of trial and error. I mean, I still make mistakes. You guys seen that in the video. Biggest thing is to take your time. Don't get too mad at yourself. And remember, it's just a game, so have fun. I mean, if you forget something, run back and get it. Buy another teleport. Figure it out another way. It's nothing you guys can't handle. It's just RuneScape. We all have our troubles. We all forget things. There's a million things to forget. So don't be too hard on yourself if you do mess up. Just remember, you can always fix it. Farming is not something you can really make a big mistake on. And if you get into it, you ain't really enjoying it, stop doing it. That's the beautiful part about RuneScape. You can do whatever you want to do. If you start doing it and you realize, hey, this ain't really for me, don't do it anymore. Do it later. If you realize, hey, I really like this, well, dive on in, get you a 99, wear that cape with pride. My kind of play style, I like to go for the challenges and the capes and the things that people don't have a whole lot of. So that's kind of why you don't see me doing a whole lot of PKing. I don't do very much like crazy Zara runs and bandos and all that stuff. I think it's all great. It's amazing. It's a great way to get money. It's just not really my gameplay. You know, I like to take things slow. I'm a skiller. I like to get these hard capes. I like to get these pets. I like to get things that not a lot of people have and things that you can't always buy. So with that said, that's kind of what influenced me to get into farming. And regardless of what got you motivated to do it, I hope this guide helps you do it. I hope it helps you get your runs in order and shows you something that you might not have known. If not, hey, I still appreciate you watching. I hope you come back. I hope you watch some more. There's always more to learn. There's always some tips and tricks that not everybody always knows of. So if you guys have any for me, feel free to share them. I always read my comments, so I will know. I will appreciate it, and I will use it to better myself in RuneScape. With that said, I'm going to slap on a little fast forward. We are going to get this run over with, and I will be right back here in a second. Alrighty, y'all. If you have made it this far, just know that I really super appreciate you. Oh, little impling, come here. You are mine. Yep, with that said, we will close it on a good note. Thank you guys so much. Like I said before, I really enjoy making this content. If you have any suggestions, hey, feel free, shout it out in the comments. You know I'll read it. Otherwise, thank you so much. Have an amazing day and tune back in.